Hello everyone. Welcome to Marking Up with HTML for Beginners. I'm Amit Kumar and this is the 20th tutorial, Some More Links. In today's tutorial, we are going to see two different varieties of link. One which is used to link to a specific fragment of the document to a specific section of the document, and the other one which is used to send mail to someone. So let's see them one by one. Now, document fragment is actually that section of the document to which we can provide a link. That means we can link to a certain section of the same page from the same page, or we can link to a certain section of a page from another page. Now it's up to us. Now in any of the case, we must assign the ID attribute to that specific element to which we want to link. Suppose if we want to link to a specific heading in a file hello.html, so this would look something like this. Now clearly you can see H1 is the heading that we have provided. The text is welcome to programming perception and the ID attribute is having value my heading. Now when we will provide link to this certain heading, we will take help of this ID. And now to link to this specific ID, we include it at the end of the URL, preceded by a hash symbol. Now suppose, as I told you, this heading is part of hello.html, and suppose we are linking to this hello.html heading from some other page, so the link would definitely look something like this. Now clearly you can see in the href, first of all I provided the name of the HTML document, then I provided this hashtag, and then I provided the ID, which was the ID of the heading. Clearly when anyone will click on this channel heading, then the user will be landed on the my heading ID or on this heading of the hello.html page. Now definitely we can even use the document fragment reference on its own to link to another part of the current document. That means the document fragment logic can be applied to link to a specific section of the current page. And in that case, definitely the page name would not be there because we are on the same page. So only we need to mention the name of the ID along with this hashtag. Now the second type of link that we are going to see today is email links. And with the help of these links, you can directly send mail to someone. So actually, these links are created so to provide a shortcut to send mail to someone. And even we can provide various settings while sending the mail. So let me show you that. So we can create links or buttons that when clicked open a new outgoing email message rather than linking to a resource or page. So definitely we can send email rather than linking to a resource or linking to a page or linking to a certain section of the page. This is done with the help of anchor tag itself, but the attribute name is changed this time. It is mail to, and mail to will have this colon while providing the value. Now clearly you can see the href is having this mail to. So there are two values actually. First of all, this mail to constant, which is always going to remain like that. Then this colon, and then after the email address. So clearly you can see this is how you are going to create an email link. And whenever the user will click on this send email to admin, definitely a mail will be generated to this admin@propertutorials.in. In fact, the email address is optional. If we omit it and our href is mail to itself, a new outgoing email window will be opened by the user's email client with no destination address. So in addition to the email address, we can provide other information as well. In fact, any standard mail header fields can be added to the mail to URL we provide. Now here's a sample that you can provide to an href attribute. Now there are plenty of things over here, but let me show you each and every one of them. Now note down how subject, CC, PCC and body have been added to the URL starting with a question mark and separated by ampersand. Spaces between words of the values are replaced by %20. And note the use of the question mark to separate the main URL from the field values and ampersand to separate each field in the mail too. And this is standard URL query notation. So in fact, whenever you are going to see a URL in HTML or web development, you are going to see these things every time. Now, if you will see the URL again, you can see the main URL, okay? The main URL, that is nothing but your email ID, is separated by various other properties. So actually what we have mentioned in the mail, we have mentioned about subject, CC, BCC and body. So we have mentioned almost everything along with the mail to option. So the email ID is the main URL. So just at the end of the email ID, you can see this question mark. Then after this subject, CC, BCC and body have been given values. So now let's see whatsoever we have done practically. So let's move to our desktop. Okay, so you can see I have opened my Notepad++ and in this tutorial 20 folder, there is an email.html. So I have created this file for you. Now you can see in this file, the title is email and I have created an anchor tag over here with this mail to colon and the email ID over there. And it is having a hypertext send email to admin. So let's run it in the Chrome. And you can see a link over there, and as soon as I will click on it, it will try to send the mail. Now before I click on it, let me tell you, these links are actually taking help of any email manager software in your system. If you are working on Windows, definitely it's going to be an Outlook, and if you are working on Windows 10, definitely it's known as Mail. So I have already configured my Gmail account on that Mail application. In case if you want these links to work, you should also configure your email account in this email app. Now configuring your email account on this app is very simple as you configure your email account on your Android phones. Now let me click on this link. So as soon as I click on it, it is trying to open the mail account, and now you can clearly see in the mail account itself that the mail is sending from this email ID and is sending to this certain email ID. Now you can see there is nothing in the CC, BCC, subject or body of the mail. So this was the first example where we were sending the mail. Now let's see if I want to specify the subject, CC, BCC and the body. So I'm just copy pasting this link. Okay, Control D is the shortcut on Notepad++. I hope you know that. And one more thing, I'm changing the line so that I can get enough space to provide that much lengthy URL. Okay, so first of all, I have given the main URL. Now I will separate it with the rest of them with help of question mark, and now I'm entering. Fine. So clearly you can see I have separated the spaces with %20. I have separated these parameter values with ampersand, and I have separated the main URL with the rest of them with question mark. Actually, I have done a mistake over there. I should change the text, otherwise they both will seems to be same link, right? Fine. So now we can recognize them, and I'm doing one more thing. I'm using BR, so they should come in two different lines. Okay, fine. So let me launch in Chrome, and now you can see the shorter mail and the standard mail. And now let me click on this standard mail, and you can see this time it's not only mentioning the to, the CC, BCC. In fact, it is also mentioning the subject as well as it is mentioning the body. So clearly, these are the two ways you can provide email links to your web page. So that's all in this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we are going to discuss about navigation menu. And you know that in every website, there is a navigation menu available on the page through which you can link from one page to another page. So for those navigation menu, we take help of hyperlink only, and that is something we are going to discuss in the next tutorial. But that marks the end of this tutorial. Hope to meet you in the next video tutorial. Till then, thank you and happy programming.